Hello, hello. Thank you for coming and checking out my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. If you're a repeat offender, I appreciate you very much. My name is Jennifer and this is Jen the Bookworm. So the reason I am coming to you today, I'm going to do something a little bit different for November's TBR. So part of doing booktube for me has always been a way to motivate me to read some of what I've already purchased and to read or listen to the books that I already have. However, booktube was deceptive. Maybe I should have known this was going to happen, but I ended up with more stuff on my wish list and my lifelong TBR than I think that I've read that I already owned. But I'm still in an ongoing journey to try to read the things that I own. And to this end, there was a time when I was checking out my Kindle, just trying to see if there's a book on there that I might want to read. And it's packed, jam-packed full of stuff. Just titles that I don't recognize, authors that I don't know, just a bunch of stuff. And I started to think, maybe I should buy myself a new Kindle and only put on it the titles that I've read or that I'm reading, or just not put everything on there. But then it occurred to me that's really dumb. It would be dumb for me to spend all that money to buy a brand new Kindle. The Kindle I have works just fine. It's just cluttered with stuff. So I was trying to figure out how to deal with this problem, trying to figure out a TBR for November, because there are some extra challenges for me in November. I have to have something that's a little more flexible, a little less demanding for reading for this month. And I was watching a booktuber, and I'll link her channel below, but her name is Emily, and I was watching her, and she is changing one of her rooms into a library. So she has taken all her books off of the shelves. In doing so, she has discovered that she's got a lot of books that were either she bought them because of the cover, but she doesn't remember them, or they were given to her, or they're part of a book a subscription service or something along those lines. And so she decided to do a read it or unhaul it video where she would randomly choose her titles, read them, or get rid of them. And I thought, Eureka, I could do that. I could do read it or delete it. And that is what I'm bringing to you in November for my TBR, is read it or delete it. Now, I went on to my Kindle to find out how many titles I actually had on there. I had 910 titles on my Kindle. Some of them were books I'd already read. Some of them were cookbooks. I have a lot of cookbooks on there. Some of them were books that I bought with the intention to read and never got around to them. But many of them came from a service that I have called BookBub. For those of you who have never heard of BookBub, they are a free service where you go onto their website, bookbub.com, I believe. Go onto their website and you say, here are the genres that I care about, and here are some authors that I want to follow. And they will send you an email every day. So if you don't want an email every day, maybe don't do this, but they will send you an email every day that will have on there the stories in the genres you picked that are free or at some reduced price on Amazon. So there were, writers or publishers will pay BookBub to do this advertising, and they'll bring down the price of, like, say, the first book in a series and hope that people buy it at 99 cents, and then hope that other people, they're the same people, will want to continue on buying more in that series for full price. There were quite a lot of content that's free or only 99 cents. I think it goes up to, I think the most expensive thing I've gotten off of BookBub has been $2.99. And I'm not buying it from BookBub, I'm buying it from Amazon, but BookBub alerted me that this title was there for $2.99 or whatever. I never spend that much per book, but I have fallen into the trap of, getting a few books in a day, whether, and I might get 5 books for $3, but then I'm not reading those books. So I buy 5 books here, I buy 5 books there, a couple books over in this day, and unfortunately it gets out of hand pretty quickly. Now, some of these books, a lot of these books were bought like 2012. I was in college in 2012. I was not able to really read for fun. I was only reading textbooks. But I was still buying. I would see these books, but like, oh, this sounds like an interesting book. For 99 cents, I can do that. We'll see. This one sounds interesting. I'll download that one. It's free. This one is, but it's free, so why not give it a shot? This led to 910 things on my Kindle. But getting rid of all of those, the things that I've already read, and so on, I still had a lot of books to get through. So what I did was I wrote down all of the books that are on my Kindle that I want to either read or delete. 85% of these books, I'm not really sure why I downloaded them, or I do know, but I'm kind of embarrassed for having done so. I don't know what these books are about anymore. I don't know 100% what attracted me to these books to begin with. You buy a book, oh, this sounds like it might be cool in 2012, and then you come back and find it in 2022. I mean, like, I don't remember buying this. So when I took away the books that I've read and the books that are not the first in the series, so I only put in books that were the first in the series or were a standalone or a companion book. And I got rid of like the cookbooks and the self-help books and things like that. Things like that I wasn't interested in adding to this read it or delete it game. But after all that, I have 462 books. 462 books that I need to read or delete. And once I do, my Kindle will be like, oh, thank you. It'll be so much lighter. But it's a daunting task. So in the month of November, I'm going to start my read it or delete it game. And my entire November TBR will be chosen at random using this game. I've got all the I've got all the titles, and so I have the title, and I have the series name if there was one, and the author, and when I bought it, just so I can keep track of those things on a slip of paper. And I will put them in a container of some sort and mix them up and draw them out Hunger Games style, and hope the odds will be in my favor to get a good book. And I will read that book, and if I like it, then I will read it all the way through and come on to tell you what a great book it was and why you should go out and buy it. If I didn't love it, I will DNF it. And I'm going to be a little brutal about the DNFing. At least that's my desire right now, is to be kind of brutal, I don't want to read things that I'm not going to enjoy it. I feel like that I have so many books that I own, and so many more books that I want to own, so many things that I want to read. I'm not going to waste my time on books that are not interesting to me. So I will DNF it and delete it. That's the rules. I have to randomly pick the next book I'm going to read it, and if I like it, finish it. If I did not like it, DNF it and delete it. Hopefully at the end of all this, I will have a much smaller amount of things on my Kindle. It'll become much more easy to use, and it will be fun. I'm hoping that it will be fun for you guys to see this content. It'll be fun for me to do it. Another thing about November that makes me need to have a more malleable, flexible TBR is I've got a couple of things happening in November. First of all, I've got birthdays and Thanksgiving and things like that, and we're going on vacation. The whole family, we're going on a cruise, which I hope to bring my Kindle and do some reading while I'm there, but also do some vacationing. We are going on a 3-day cruise to Ensenada, Mexico, and I am happy about it. Of the 4 of us that live here, only one of us has been on a cruise before, and the other 3 of us, this is very new, so it'll be a lot of fun. And I still want to read, but I don't want it to be all consuming, because I want to do some of the other things while I'm on the ship as well. I want to go to the shows and hang out with my daughter at the swimming pool and so on. So I mean, there'll be some reading, and because I won't have access to the internet for most of the time that I'm there, I wanted to already have the things on my Kindle. So so this TBR idea, this read it or delete it idea, fits well with going on vacation. The last hurdle, and it's kind of a big hurdle for November, is NaNoWriMo. If you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, that stands for National Novel Writing Month. It's always in the month of November, and the premise behind NaNoWriMo is that you come together, you pledge to try to write 50,000 words in 1 month, from November 1st to November 30th, not a word before or after, 50,000 words or more in that period of time. It is, obviously it's the honor system. It's a program, you know, anybody can say, yeah, I did it. Doing it, though, is a completely different animal. And they have a website, nanowrimo.org, I believe, and I'll link it below for anybody who's interested. It is a great way to get into writing if you're interested. It really helps. They try to do like YouTube live shows and you know, guest lecture authors and ride-alongs and stuff like that for people to get people involved. And I have in the past really enjoyed doing it. I usually am able to complete 50,000 or more words in the month. And in July of this last year, they did, or of 2022, they did a Camp NaNoWriMo, and also they did one in April. So April Camp NaNoWriMo, I think I did 70,000 words that month. And July Camp NaNoWriMo, I bombed for a few reasons. One, I was heavily tutoring my sister in math. But 2, I discovered and decided to start a booktube. It was a lot to do all at once, and I didn't get to the writing, and I felt a little burnt out because of all the writing I had done in April. So I didn't succeed in July, but in November my efforts will be, you know, refocused to try to get 50,000 words or more in the month of November. To do that, I need to not be reading things that are too heavy. I may only read 3 or 4 books in the month of November, and that's going to just have to be fine. I will keep this read it or delete it format and do it in other months. Pepper it in. Maybe not make my entire TBR or read it or delete it TBR, but maybe if I come up across a month where things are going to be pretty hectic. So I am hoping to bring just a few different elements to the channel. I'm hoping to bring shorts that kind of give you updates on what I'm reading or what I'm writing or how much I've written. I only plan to be a couple minutes long. This is how many words I've written today. I might do a video on this is what my book is about. So I might do a couple of reading things in there, but I'm going to make them short. This is a booktube channel. But I don't see, I'm too small, I think, to make a whole other channel just for the writing stuff. So I'm just going to keep it all on here, but I might do some shorts to kind of update you as I go, particularly if I'm DNFing books quite quickly. I might end up doing a short. I might also do some vlogs in the month of November. Vlogs can be a little heavy to do, can be a little bit more work, but perhaps with the format of this month's TBR, it will work better at doing vlogs. Definitely want to do a little something about our vacation, maybe show part of that. So that's my plan. That's what's coming up on the channel. So stay tuned for the first Read It or Delete It video where I will actually be drawing out a title and reading it for you guys, and hopefully not deleting it, or if it's bad, deleting it. But I will check in with you periodically and let you know what's going on with my reading and what's going on with my writing and what's going on with me in November. But I wanted to put this video out just to kind of give you a heads up. This is what I'm doing for November, and some channel news and some, personal news with the cruise and such. And please stay tuned if you want to follow this project the Read It or Delete It project that I'm doing. Let me know if you like this kind of content. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. It's free to do and it really helps out my channel. Particularly if you are really into this Read It or Delete It format, making sure to like and subscribe and those things will let me know that this was a hit and that I should keep going with this, and really keep trying to highlight some of these books that I bought and go through them and see if they're any good or not. If you yourself are a writer that does NaNoWriMo and would like to look me up and buddy with me on NaNoWriMo, just let me know. We will find each other and help support each other through the month of November. And that's what I have for you today. So I hope that you really enjoyed this, and I hope that this will be a lot of fun for you. I hope it will be fun for me as well. And I really appreciate the time you came to spend with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.